Hey, welcome to the show. It's Flash and Friends. I'm the Flash Man, Roxanne Wilder, as always, looking. Hey, great hair.
Thank you.
Can I just say,
I feel like
great
I'm having
hair?
a crazy bad hair day, but so I appreciate that.
No,
Just
that's
does
nice.
whatever it wants to.
I like that. That's hot. Hey, lots of cool stuff happening on the show today. We've got, we've decided that we want to get some more names in the hat for that amazing guitar. Thanks to our friends over at Paragon Music. So you still have time to like the page if you haven't done so already, and send us a little note, just instant message-wise, correct?
Sure.
Just instant messages. Tell us that, hey, I want that guitar. $800 acoustic, and it is nice.
It
As a matter of fact, look at it.
Beautiful.
Look at it right here.
It is a
look at that.
Luna Fauna Dragon.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, my gosh. I know all my friends are
Music lovers?
chomping at the bit to get that Music Lovers. The guys from Sobriety X, a couple of those guys have shown interest. My boy Daryl Hahn, Captain Kidd from crew of Blackbeard's Revenge, he wants the thing. So, we'll see. We'll throw them all in a hat and pick a name. We'll do it next show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of this show, we have so many cool things to get into. We're going to tell you who makes the best mistress.
Huh?
Traditional skills that are dying out. Yes,
Right.
who makes the best mistress?
Oh, gotcha.
Not that anybody's looking for one out there,
No,
but qualities that people look for in a
listen,
mistress.
if you are, we got you covered.
Sure. And 9 fashion mistakes guys make it work. We don't have any offenders in here.
Thank goodness.
No.
Hey, speaking of fashion, I tell everybody if you want me to wear your hat, give you a little free advertising right there. Throw me the hat. If it's a nice hat like this one, I'll do it. My buddy Charles Kugel from Charles Kugel's Tree Service actually went out and had this one made for me last night, delivered it to my house so that I can make sure that I have the Charles. And I'm telling you right now, the guy's like, I believe he's part monkey, because if you ever see him get up and trim your trees, whoo, it's crazy talk. And I can't remember what some of his slogans like, keep your bushes trimmed and your tree looks bigger. I don't understand what that even means. But that's sort of his, what, Bill? That's okay, gotcha.
You just giggled.
All right. Janet Sciales is here. She's going to, I think, we got rings around the anus or something like that. I'm not sure exactly how that goes, but isn't that how rings around your
She always says Uranus.
Oh,
If you
Uranus, right.
Notice when we talk
What
to you
is
today,
it?
see how she says it. Say, how about that planet that's
Got the
kind
rings
of
around
out there
it.
with
Yeah,
right.
we'll
the
talk
last
to her.
no,
See what's
Pluto. Pluto's a star now, is what they say.
See if I still have positive things coming in my future. Oh, I don't know after that. But listen, I was watching you on Studio 10 the other morning, and I had to LOL because
Well, we were talking about something that
about.
Facebook did this study, and they found that LOL has gone out of fashion.
Well,
People
I'm
don't
old
even
school.
use it.
I
You're old
like
school.
LOL.
You're
I
old
like
school with it.
LOL.
You know, my dad for a long time thought when I would send him texts that said LOL, he thought it meant lots of love.
Aw,
so that's cute.
see?
But they say
Double
it's out
meaning.
of fashion now because they ran this algorithm on Facebook to see all the conversations and noticed that that's out. And rather people do the ha-has, they do the emoticons. And for me, I can never pull this one off. And even when I get it sometimes, I'm like, hee-hee. I'm not a hee-hee person at all.
I'm not either. I have to take a class on emoticons. Is that what you call them?
Yes.
I don't know what those things mean. I mean, I just thumbs up. I get that. But-
There are a ton of emoticons. I mean, there are so many of them. And yet I have such a hard time finding one that fits the particular emotion that I want to convey.
I was going through the cable channels, and there was a whole show dedicated to these things the other day on somebody and what's cool and what's not. And, hey, you better know what they are before you send them.
Sure.
Like you could be sending some.
Do you have a favorite, or you're still kind of feeling your way around things? My favorite is the one like this.
Yeah, I like the one
with the straight teeth.
Yeah, that's the one I like with the, that's the one
And
I
I also like the squish face.
With the big one, though. The big,
The
huge one.
sunglass guy is good. Yes. With the hard eyes in the sunglasses. Have you seen
I
that
haven't
one?
seen that one.
Okay. Oh.
How come I can't hear
Usually
you?
follow with
there
a
you go.
bwahaha.
Oh, I got
Oh, so you go for the bwaha. See,
Yes.
I've never been able to pull that off.
Never
either.
bwaha.
No,
guy.
I'm just straight up ha-has.
A little more
Yes.
sinister.
Little ha-ha. I don't know, man. I'm old. I mean, is it not cool to LOL anymore? So is that the deal? I mean, are people not going to pay attention to me if I
I don't know,
LOL?
but the one that wasn't addressed that I always liked is the LMAO.
What does that mean?
Laughing my ass off.
Oh.
I think we're allowed to say that here.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, that's
my
cool.
ass.
Laugh my
Arse.
ass. That's I think there's one even with an F in there
Right,
somewhere, but
there
I don't
is.
know. But anyway.
You want to use more letters in your
Yeah, if you
acronym?
want to just start adding. Yeah, maybe we should just start adding letters or just making stuff up so
I think
people
that's
wonder what it
people
is.
do. Or they're just
It's
bad
crazy.
spellers.
And speaking of internet and using the phone and your Facebook and whatnot, our new passion is periscoping.
Yes.
Listen, my friend is over I actually took him to the airport the other morning, And they went to Rome, and they're doing this huge cruise all through Rome. They as a matter of fact, they're going to come on the show probably in a couple of weeks and go over it because they actually set up all these really cool trips. They've got a show called On Now TV, or All Aboard TV, and it's really cool. They go to these exotic destinations, and they actually get paid to do it, and then they tape it. But he's been periscoping, and he periscoped this morning just as I was getting up, and it was like 2:30 in the afternoon because he was heading to the bar to get him a little gin and tonic or whatnot. And I'm like, man, it's early. He goes, man, it's 2:35 in the afternoon. I'm like, well,
you know, Pat George across the hall, who we've had on Flash and Friends before, he tells me, he'll come in and say, look, this news is breaking. I mean, it is the place now for breaking news. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's cool because it's sort of like if you haven't Periscoped, and I guess it attaches to your Twitter feed. I don't know if you can do Periscope without a Twitter.
I'm curious if you can. I've got to figure out the settings. I'm sure you can do Periscope and not tweet it out that you're doing it. Can you do that?
Is that
possible?
Because originally I had thought
is.
that if everybody that was following you on Twitter would instantly get the little message to say, "Hey, Flash is broadcasting live." But it's sort of like doing a live YouTube video is how I describe it.
It's a good description.
And it holds, it'll hold for 24 hours if you follow me. And by the way, a Flash Q105 if you want to follow. And Roxanne, what is your?
Just plain old Roxanne Wilder.
Plain old Roxanne Wilder.
Just Roxanne Wilder.
Like, see, I got to watch. I got to
Roxanne Wilder.
I got to watch.
Far from plain.
Yeah, I got to watch Roxy go and eat sushi the other day, and I'm commenting and hey, get me a volcano. It was cool.
Just when you think we've reached absolute lows for like food porn and taking pictures of our toes in the sand, this is taking us to all new levels of doing boring things and letting people watch.
It's cool. It does. It's just so funny because I saw that that piece the other day that somebody put up one of those little message boards that said back in the day you had a diary and you got mad. You were just offended like crazy if somebody didn't read it. Or did read it, and then the opposite now, you put your trash out online, and you get mad if somebody doesn't read it. It's crazy how things have changed.
We're not a culture of secrecy in that way, no.
Not anymore. Well, lots of cool stuff happening. We got some cool, funny stories that Rox has dug up.
Yes.
And we'll get to those here in just a couple of minutes. So
Stories
we're back.
About mistresses.
And I can't wait to hear the one about the new
fashion mistakes.
That one especially. And then there was the one about the new operating system, Windows 10. That's a funny,
glitch.
Story.
You need to be aware of
little glitch that we're going to make you aware of here coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're back in minutes. It's Flash and Friends. Don't go away.
This week's episode of Flash and Friends is powered by TampaBayNightlife.tv, Tampa Bay's video entertainment guide and your #1 source for having fun around town. Featuring the hottest restaurants, nightclubs, concerts, and the home of Tampa Bay's top 20 things to do with a new show every Friday. So don't forget to tune in to TampaBayNightlife.tv.
Hey, it's the Flash Man, and if you haven't been to the Q105 Saturday Night Dance Party, then you're missing out. Join me and my main man, Matt the Brat, pumping out all the hottest dance music from the 70s, 80s, and more, mixed live at Club Dubai in Carrollwood. This week, every lady will get a raffle ticket to win a top designer handbag valued at over $300. $3 domestics and $5 select premium drinks all night. The Saturday Night Dance Party at Club Dubai. Doors open at 8:30, Northdale Boulevard in Dale Mabry in Carrollwood. Flash and Friends is powered by Xtra Medium Productions, your high-definition, full-service production studio. Call 727-584-4500, extramedium.com.
Hey, welcome back to the show, Flash and Friends. We got the lovely and talented Janet Sciales with the Star Goddess is here.
Yay!
She's back.
I love to be here.
Listen, we love it when you come in here because then we find out all kinds of cool stuff to look forward to.
Exactly.
Anyway.
We got a new moon, so we got new stuff going on, and I think people need to know.
What about the rings around Uranus? Is that good? Am I saying that right? Am I even getting it right?
She says Uranus.
Only because Uranus sounds like Uranus.
I got you.
Exactly. Cleans it up. But she also says
I just wanted to make sure I'm saying it right.
Right.
She says retrograde, and I've always said retrograde.
Retrograde is the correct pronunciation, but my first astrology teacher, Mrs. Finkelstein.
Mrs. Finkelstein.
Yes, and she was about this.
We love
loved
Mrs.
her.
Finkelstein.
Don't you
Shout
love
out.
that? She was about this big.
All right.
And about 90 when I was taking lessons from her. And rather than, and when she was talking about the planets moving backwards, and she said it was retrograde, and I corrected her, and she said no.
Really?
It is retrograde when you're talking about planets.
Maybe she was French or something.
Tomato, tomato.
So
Take your
I
pick.
say retrograde instead
Hey,
of retrograde.
Janet is also a wealth of knowledge when it comes to sports. Big
I
sports
love
fan.
sports.
Yeah, before we start to get into the
She
astrology
was
stuff.
just bringing us up to speed on the situation with Geno Smith at the
Geno
Buccaneers.
Smith, a Libra. He's a Libra.
He's a Libra.
Which is why he's good looking, except not so much now because he's got a busted jaw.
He got his jaw jacked.
He
What
did.
up?
Well, he was supposed to do some sort of charity event with one of his co-players. And the guy sent
Another
him
Buccaneer? Was it another Buccaneer?
No, it
player?
wasn't a Buccaneer. I
Okay.
think they're in New York.
New York Jets.
The Jets,
The
right?
Jets, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he was like a second linebacker or something.
Right.
At any rate, he does his charity thing. Geno says, yeah, I'll be there. Sent him a $600 plane ticket, limo ride, and Geno Smith did not show up.
I don't blame
Wow.
him. I blame Geno. I don't blame the guy for getting irritated.
Well, yeah,
because
but you still don't cold cock your quarterback.
Wow.
Broke his jaw.
Yeah,
He's
they
out
said it
for
was a
10
sucker
weeks.
punch.
Yeah.
Jacked
Flat
his
out
jaw.
sucker
Yikes.
punch.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
we don't
Yeah.
condone violence. No, we don't. But can I just say, and I know both sides of the charity business in terms of getting players to come and participate. Can I tell you the people who are playing in the tournament, who are the donors, who are sponsoring it, who are bidding on the players.
Yeah.
Your stock, as soon as you are out of the NFL, MLB, whatever the case may be, your stock goes like this when it comes to people wanting to hang around you.
Sure.
Right.
And the reason is because when you're in the NFL, when you're in the league,
You're in the
you
game.
never know what you could do. There's that, what if he does this? What if he goes and ends up in the Hall of Fame? There's the possibilities. And then once you're out of the game, you've done whatever you're
No
doing.
You're
future
out.
in
Yeah,
it.
you've,
There's
you've
no
won.
future
We
in
kind
it.
of know what you've done.
Right. I
Yeah.
don't blame him for getting mad that one of his star guys, I'm sure he was a big draw,
Sure.
didn't show. That's some BS.
Well, yeah, it is.
I agree.
It is. It is. What kind of emoji would you put on that one?
I'd say that's classic
Double
evidence.
mean face one.
That was the mean face with the sunglasses on because you got a busted eye and a busted jaw.
Yes.
Yeah. What if they got an emoji with a broke jaw? Arr, arr, arr.
It's off to the
Dude
side.
is out for 6 to 10
Yikes.
weeks. That's
Yeah.
a lot when
That's-
he's your starting
Oh,
quarterback.
no
That's
doubt.
not good,
That's
man.
problematic.
That would be Mars and Leo. That's Mars and
So-
I'm pissed off and I'm going to do
Sure.
something about it.
Sure. So speaking of Leo, that's what we're going into
We
right
are.
now.
It's the new moon is going to be in Leo. And wherever the new moon is indicates new starts. And the sun stays in a sign for 30 days. So it's sort of that's where your attention is going to be focused for 30 days. So
Gotcha.
I thought everybody needs to know what that means to them because
Yes.
it's different in everybody's chart.
okay.
Like in the chart of a Gemini,
Right.
who
Hey.
knows some of them.
Hey.
You know, for Geminis, it means the pace of their day-to-day living picks up to warp speed. They made a lot of money in the last month. They put a lot of things in
Get
motion.
close to
for-
me.
I-
Get close to me, Janet.
Come closer
I
so we
will.
can see
I
you,
will.
Bill
Janet
Sciales. We
Sciales.
need to get in
I'll go like
position.
this. For Geminis, they spent all of last month working on money-making ventures.
Yes.
And they put a whole bunch of things in motion to make a lot of money.
Yes.
Well, in the next 30 days or so, they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is and
Well,
actually do all of
now.
that.
Hey,
so
now.
the pace of their life picks up. They've got a lot of short distance, short duration travel. It's not like they're going to Mars or anything like that, but they've got a lot of out and backs. And they
Or
have to
Uranus.
Yes, or Uranus, yes. But for them, it's very
Just
important that they realize that the effort that they put in is going to pay out over the next 2 years or so.
Ah, nice.
So that's a very,
Nice.
very cool thing.
Welcome to Flash and Friends.
There you go.
Hello.
All right. That sounds like good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's move around the
like
room.
it.
And now we have a resident Cancer, a resident Moonchild.
Well, they're not going to like
Moonchild.
hearing this because when the sun, it's a two-pronged thing.
Sorry, Bill. You better stick with
Tell
us,
you
buddy.
what.
Better
That's
jump
gonna
on,
be-
It rains,
jump
it
on our
pours.
coattails, buddy.
It's going to be one of those things where it takes money to make money, unfortunately, and they're going to be expanding their business and what it is that they do, which
Okay.
is a very cool thing. But unfortunately, it's going to cost money up front to do that, and that's going to stress their already stretched kind of thin budget. So the last thing they want to hear is, great, Janet, I get to spend more money. And it's like, but at least this time, you're going to have something to show for it, that you'll be able to make
okay,
money as a
finally.
result of that. So that's sort of
Okay,
like
I'll take that as
new
good news.
equipment. Those look like new lights, and I know they're not cheap and stuff like that. To make
No.
it's an investment in your business kind of thing.
Yes.
Well, that's not bad because we're dudes. We love equipment,
I love equipment.
Yeah, but nobody wants to
especially
pay
with
for it.
especially with blinking lights on
I
it.
love to play with my
And
equipment.
the ladies love
Yeah.
the pretty lights.
I love
We
that.
do. We do
ladies
like the
like the
lights.
lights.
Chicks
Right
dig the
lighting.
lights. Yeah. All right. So continuing to move around the room.
To move
Miss
around the zodiac, we do
Roxanne.
Move around the
Um,
zodiac.
Gemini,
Move around the
Cancer.
zodiac. We started with you, but usually
Oh.
we'd start with Aries, right?
Well, actually, now, we would start probably with
Or
Leo.
we start
the
with
sign,
Leo. Okay.
the sign that it's in. But since it's Flash, we'll start with him. And
We
then
started
right.
with Flash.
we move from Gemini to Cancer to Leo. And for Leos, it's all about them. And it's about them making more money. And it's about them putting forth a concerted effort to make more money. And a lot of times we put forth a lot of effort and don't have anything to show for it. But this time, Leo, if they put forth that effort, there'll be money at the end of it, which is a very cool thing for them. And they get the opportunity with the things that they put in motion over the next month or so, they'll be able to make more money in the next year than they have any time in the last 4 or 5 years.
Good to hear.
It's your birthday.
So,
Yes.
yeah, they're pretty happy about that.
You might want to edit that part out, Bill. I apologize for that. My outburst
focusing
right
on
there.
that.
I
We're
was
zooming in.
happy for my Leo in the house right there. I'm just
zooming in.
saying.
You should be. If you're married to a Leo, it means more money headed your way. Thank God.
All right.
You know, because they sure can spend money. Because Leos are a lot of things, but you probably know that they
Hang on
are
a minute.
not cheap.
No, they're glamorous.
July 24th. What is that?
That's a Leo.
That's Leo.
Oh, heck,
Yeah.
go Leo.
So is that your wife?
That's Susie Q, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And she's
Okay,
got
that's a great match
expensive
for you.
taste. No, they do. Leos do.
Oh,
Leos-
no, you don't have to tell me twice.
You cannot buy a Leo with drill for her birthday, man.
No.
It's got to be jewelry for her lingerie.
Or it's got to have all the extra parts that go with it.
and
Yes.
somebody to run it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that's how Leos are. But you know, they're pretty sharp-looking women.
Yes.
And they're pretty dramatic women. So,
Yes,
Pretty hair,
that they
drama.
are.
you know, they look good on your arm. And, you know, you get what you pay for.
Let me tell you the funny Leo story I had last night. Susie and I went out for a little dinner last night, and I got my man card back. I went and I bought myself a dually, big dually truck, because I use it to pull, pull the
Drag
float.
stuff.
And because everybody, specifically Tommy across the hall, told me I had to give up my man card when I got the minivan. So I traded the
that
minivan
really does
in.
give your man card a run.
Yeah, it's true. I had to give my man card, so I went and got my man card back.
Excellent.
Extra big. I got it. So I got the dually. So last night I met Susie for dinner, and we went over to Charlie's, Good Time Charlie's, and sang a little karaoke. Had some wings, had a couple drinks, and she said, "Give me the key to the truck. I'm driving it home." I said,
No, not my man.
now listen, Susie is all of 5'2".
Put a
Okay,
toothpick in her
yeah,
teeth.
I had to get the pillow out of the back to stuff under the seat for her to see over the dashboard of the thing. And I said, "I tell you what, let me pull it out from behind here, and I'll get down the
Some
street, and I'll
open
pull over, and
terrain.
we'll swap. Yeah, let me get you." And sure enough, buddy, we jumped out, and she took off.
Oh, how cute.
I had her little 200 convertible, and I'm trying to keep up with her, and she's.
Oh, that's the
big-
greatest
the
thing. You
big
kind of
turn.
drive like this, put
Yeah.
a toothpick between your teeth and go, come on, try me.
It's an
Yeah,
all-terrain
try me.
vehicle. Flip it around in your mouth hole. Yeah, it's great stuff, man. But she had and she said when I got home, I might want one of these. I'm like,
Oh, no. I bet.
boy.
I bet
Yeah,
she does.
Doolies.
yeah.
There you
Dually,
go.
Dually, yeah.
For
she wanted
Gemini.
a dang Hummer at one point. I mean, she's
Ooh.
5. She's a 5'2". You know what scares her to death is driving through the water.
Yeah.
So she likes to sit up high. She had a Lincoln Navigator when I met her, and now she's I'm getting something big. When she traded in, I'm getting something big. She ended up with a little 200 convertible. Now I think she's got we've chummed the water now, letting her drive the big truck around a little bit.
Oh, I
So
bet.
I might be,
There's
I
no
might be in
going
trouble.
back. Once
No.
you've driven a big truck.
I'm waiting on her to say, "Let me just take the truck to work today." I'm like,
You're going to the 200 convertible now.
Yeah, right. Drop the top. Anyway, Leo, it's your birthday.
What about Virgo?
For
You.
Virgo, for me, yes, for Virgo. Actually, it's a good year for Virgo. It just doesn't start till September. Virgo, when Leo is the end of their solar year, they have no energy, they have no vitality, they don't even feel like getting out of bed in the morning, they don't want to do anything, they just kind of want to go to a beach and lay there, or go to the woods and lay there and not do a whole lot.
Right.
Good time to do so.
Yeah, and it is. That's really the right thing to do is to look over your life and keep the things that you like, get rid of, and leave the things to the curb that you've set by the curb.
Kick 'em to the
maybe-
curb, girl.
And leave them there.
Yeah.
You know, and this way you're streamlined. So when Jupiter is in your sign, but when the sun gets into your sign in the end of this month, then they can begin a brand new 12-year cycle about how they're going to apply their energies. So there's a lot of opportunity for them. Unfortunately, it's not this week.
Excellent. Okay.
Hey, but you know what's coming though. That's the nice thing
It
about
is,
this
and it's
whole-
something
this
really
whole
to
thing.
look forward to because for Virgo, this is their best new start since 2003.
Dig it,
So
man.
there's a lot of good things they can put into effect.
That
So-
wasn't
How
when you.
about
That wasn't when you were on the
Libra?
television show, was it?
I hope so.
Oh, right.
You're from your mouth to God's ears. For Libra, and Libra, like Geno Smith, this is not going to be their best year. It's a difficult year for Libra, unfortunately.
Janet just calls it like she sees it.
It is. Why lie?
Doesn't sugarcoat it.
You know,
Hey, listen.
Jupiter's in their 12th house.
You
It's
and Bill better jump on my coattails right now. Jump on. I'll
Jump
fold
in
it
your
out
dually.
for you.
take us along. So, no, it's not really the easiest year for them. They've achieved a whole bunch of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. They've reached every objective they want, and now it's time to kind of accommodate that into their life and rather than starting new projects, kind of bring to fruition the things they already have in the works.
Gotcha.
Scorpio.
So, Scorpio, it is a good year. They've achieved a great deal of professional success over the last year or so. And now because they've achieved that professional success, everybody's going to be their pal. Everybody's going to want to suck up to them.
And they're the sign that can see through that easier than any other sign.
Easier than any other sign. And they're the ones kind of raise one eyebrow and go, oh, really? Remember when I asked you to do this for me and you didn't? Exactly.
Don't miss any charity events either. Get jacked in the jaw.
Exactly. And as well you should. And then for Scorpio this year, though, they are going to rely on a group to help the group bring the Scorpio what it wants because they're the most manipulative. They and Virgos are two of the most manipulative signs.
Transformative is a nicer
I like
word.
that. See,
Yes.
you really are. You really are so nice.
And she uses big words.
is.
She's
She
nice
does.
and uses big
Manipulative.
words.
Not just another pretty face.
Right? Love that.
For Sagittarians have done very well legally over the last year. Educational matters went well.
Meaning
legal
they are not in
matters.
jail.
Exactly. the guys.
Talk about calling it like you see it,
guys.
Rox. I mean, you're
Exactly.
calling it like you see it, too.
Very, very true. And as a result
your
of
call.
that, they are in the professional spotlight this year. This is the year that they reach their professional success. Something they've been working on for 6 or 8 years actually comes to be
Nice.
this coming year for them. And they just need to make sure their contracts are in order, their legal stuff is all in order so they
Get
can.
it in writing.
That's because it doesn't mean nothing until they sign it on the
That's
dotted
right.
line.
That's
so.
right.
Capricorn.
Capricorns are busy reinventing themselves. They've reinvented themselves all of this year. They've found a profound transformation for them. They are finishing it up this week, and literally in a lot of ways in their physical being, their houses, their homes, their lives, they have reinvented themselves, and they're ready to come out in the next couple of weeks or so and take that show on the road and see how it plays in Peoria. So
Get on down the road now.
it is good news for them. For Aquarians, they've had to say a lot of yes sir and no sir to their partners because their partners really have had the upper hand the last year or
Sure.
so. Well, that comes to an end.
Good.
Which
I
is
know, Aquarian.
about time because they're really happy that it's about time that it's about them instead
Good.
of other people.
There you go.
And they also get to reinvent themselves in this coming year, which is a cool thing for them as well. They benefit from other people's resources, meaning not their own money, but their partners do well, which is, I'm always happy to say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am when they're picking up the tab.
Right.
So that's a cool thing for them.
Very good.
For
and
Pisces,
we made our way around
work.
the table here.
That's it.
Pisces, work and responsibilities. There's more work, and I know. And
all I
Roxanne
do.
goes, "What? I was sleeping for 5 minutes?" However, this new moon solidifies all of that effort.
Okay.
And then there will be no new jobs for them. They'll have the ability to do the jobs they've already created for themselves to the best of their ability, and the pace of their living will slow down to something they can actually manage.
Okay. I like the sound
which
of
is
that.
good for you.
Yes.
This is not like you're going to take an obscure role or a backseat role because you are still going to be front and center,
Okay.
only with less new things being thrown
yes.
at you.
Oh, I like that.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
See,
sure,
that's just
sure.
what you wanted, Roxanne.
Solidify your stuff, Bill. We got to do it now.
There
Happy
we go.
birthday.
Yes.
Solidify.
Here we go.
Solidify
Hey,
it.
quick questions before we go to break. 2 quick questions for you. Number one, I'm fascinated with hands. I'm always checking out people's hands, especially guys' hands.
I don't
know
blame
why.
you.
I
That's
just do.
Always a good idea.
How you
He's
doing?
got beautiful hands. Is that a Gemini thing?
Gemini rules the hands. It does indeed.
Okay.
That's my dad's hands
Yes,
right
and
there.
I've
by the
noticed
way.
some other Gemini who have beautiful hands too.
And yet, a lot of times, Geminis will lose the tip of their fingers. That's one thing that, whenever I see a guy that's missing a tip of his
Just
finger,
this
it's like,
one,
oh, you're a
almost.
Gemini.
Almost,
yeah, they
right
catch
there.
it. When they're like 13, 14, 15, they catch
Yep.
it in a piece
Oh.
of equipment.
Jammed it right under a trailer.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay. Yeah.
Tongue trailer
Okay.
dropped right
Yeah,
on
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Woo.
And so they're usually missing like the tip of one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah,
I
you're a
got,
Gemini.
I got pretty close. I kept it, but yeah.
You had a good doctor then.
Yeah, he
Because
is.
they do. But that's a Gemini thing. And then they learn to pay attention to where their hands
Right.
are.
From that point
Every
on,
time they go, I gotta see
lesson
where
I
those
only had
things
to
are
learn
at.
one time.
Yes.
Dropped one trailer on my hand.
It does. Very Gemini.
How's
Speaking
that?
of,
Is that good? All
that's a
right.
tap.
I
That's a
thought
tap
you-
to go to break.
Oh, I thought you wanted to see my other hand. Janice Sciales, always a pleasure having you here.
Always
we'll see
a
you.
pleasure.
What is it? Next quarter? When do you how often you get to
Yeah.
get in here after the moon's around Uranus? Or
Every
something?
new moon.
All right, very
I'm
good.
a new moon
New
kind of
moon.
girl.
New moon. All right, we'll see you next
All
new moon.
right. Always a
Thanks for
pleasure.
being here.
Thank you.
and We'll see you in a minute.
We'll be right back.
This segment is powered by Tampa Bay Nightlife.tv, Tampa Bay's video entertainment guide.
Hey, it's the Flash Man, and if you haven't been to the Q105 Saturday Night Dance Party, then you're missing out. Join me and my main man, Matt the Brat, pumping out all the hottest dance music from the 70s, 80s, and more, mixed live at Club Dubai in Carrollwood. This week, every lady will get a raffle ticket to win a top designer handbag valued at over $300. $3 domestics and $5 select premium drinks all night. The Saturday Night Dance Party at Club Dubai. Doors open at 8:30, Northdale Boulevard in Del Mabry in Carrollwood. Flash and Friends is powered by Xtra Medium Productions, your high-definition, full-service production studio. Call 727-584-4500, extramedium.com.
Hey, and welcome back to Flash and Friends. We've got some crazy stories that Roxanne has dug out of the story pile over there. So lots of cool stuff. Anna, what's the first one we wanted to
We want to
cover?
buzz through these stories, and the first thing I have to let you know is about building the perfect mistress.
What?
A
Wait
website
a minute.
called
The Perfect Mistress?
Seeking Arrangements matches like wealthy guys with young women looking for sugar daddies.
Gotcha.
And they released the results of this survey they did to build the perfect mistress. These are her qualifications.
All right.
26 to 32 years old.
Okay.
Blonde hair.
Nah.
Green eyes.
Yeah.
White, but Asian was a close second. 32D breasts. Athletic body. Non-smoker and social drinker, and does yoga.
Does yoga.
And you know what I had to say to these men? Stop making these stupid lists.
There you go.
Concentrate on your relationship at home.
Sounds like she has everything a
Bump it,
superficial
Roxy.
man would like.
There
Yes.
you go. That's what I'm talking about right there. I'm with you
Okay.
on that.
So this guy, I haven't done my Windows 10 yet. I'm going to.
I'm waiting on that one. That's how you got. Wait till you hear the Windows 10 story.
Guy
It's
from
funny.
Michigan, he installed Windows 10, didn't realize that it automatically takes the photos in your My Pictures stuff
Right.
and loads it onto a screensaver. And apparently all he had is adult photos.
Adult photos.
Little porn stash in the pictures, in the My Pictures. These are My Pictures. Well, now they're your screensaver. And his wife saw, so I'm sure
Hey.
there was some apologizing to do that night.
Come on in, honey. Look, I just
Yeah.
loaded Windows 10
Yeah,
on
look,
your
I just
machine.
Did a nice collage for you, honey.
Yeah, put a nice collage up for you. Ooh, look at that one.
You're in there somewhere.
Right. Oh, gosh.
That's for my Building a Perfect Mistress site there, honey. Jeez Louise.
Okay, so some skills
man.
that we're all losing. This is so sad. I mean, technology is a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
but my gosh, is it making us dumb in certain areas or just losing these skills altogether? Here we go. Reading a map.
Uh-huh.
I can barely read my map on my whatever what's it called? MapQuest.
MapQuest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can barely read my MapQuest.
Yeah.
Don't know when the last time I
No.
saw a map was.
Do you remember when we would go somewhere on a trip, and before you got there, you would print up MapQuest from or Yahoo Maps?
Listen,
We used to
back
go to
in
and
the
then you would
AAA.
stare at them when you
Ah.
or then going way back. It's like
We go
right.
to AAA and get the
Or-
triptychs.
That's what I'm talking about. My
Stop and
dad,
ask for
listen,
directions.
we would take our family vacation to West Virginia every year when I was a kid. We went there and went to Disney. But my dad made a trip down to AAA every trip. He knew the way. I mean, we didn't even have to have. But my dad would do that. He'd get the triptych, just like you said, and he'd flip it out and he'd go, okay, first day we're going to cover this. We're going to stay here.
Plan out your
and
stops
plan
and
out
stuff.
the whole thing. It kind of, just like Chevy Chase did on vacation. My dad would plan the trip to the T, to the minute. All right, we're stopping at this rest stop. And I don't know how he did it, but he had it. He had it under the console where he had it folded a certain way when we were in certain states. He could do the. What was the
Right.
little thing you were talking about earlier?
Cat's
the little,
cradle?
It was like the cat's
It was-
cradle
oh.
thing. He had it where he could flip
Speaking
it
of.
and stick it on the steering wheel and read the map while he was driving, which I'm sure was almost like texting and driving of the day. But he could do it.
He could do it.
Hey, you
He
got
could do
your
it. Yes,
things
okay, so
untangled there. That's good.
Speaking of Cat's Cradle,
Yeah.
some viewers of Flash and Friends, apparently we've got attention to detail viewers, and they honed in on the fact that last week my cords were curled up too much,
Yeah.
tangled up.
Yeah,
a little bit of a knot.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, run with that, guys.
That-
Go ahead, run with
Thank
that.
you. So I spent 45 minutes prior to the recording of this.
Yeah, that's why we're a
episode
little
of
late
Flash and
today, by the
Friends
way.
because Bill insisted that I untangle my cords. But I mean, it's
Way to go,
radio. We
Bill.
use these for radio.
Well,
No one
he's-
sees them.
Right.
But
Until now.
Evidently
Okay, so we got
now
that
we
taken
got
care of for you.
we've got the HD video. Mm-hmm. We got
continuing with the skills that are dying out, knowing how to format a letter. That makes sense. People don't even write letters. They just do like little emails and Facebook messages and texts. Spelling and grammar
Guilty.
going by the wayside. You know what's
Guilty.
something mine is not, and I'll tell you why, because I refuse. Like if I have a friend who is a bad speller in text,
You do.
I just glance at it. I just glance at it because I don't want those incorrectly spelled words to stick in my brain.
Thank God for
And
spell check
whenever
for me.
I send a text, I try to keep it as grammatically and as correct as possible.
And it's sort of a
trying
catch.
to be time efficient.
It's kind of a catch-22 for me because a lot of times spell check will put something in that I don't want,
Sure.
and then it messes me up. I don't understand why it does that.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
Looks
like we have some guests here now that are coming in for the studio.
Bobby,
so guess what?
Bob,
We're going to do.
That's my guest. Your
full.
guest on the list. That's Bobby Rocket from On Now TV. He'll be
good.
here in a minute. But
Okay.
yeah, good stuff. What you got? We got one more.
Okay, we have one more. Having good penmanship. Mine is the worst because nobody writes
No,
anymore.
mine's
No.
the worst. I'll fight you for it right now, Roxanne.
We're going to
Listen,
do that during the
like
break.
the page, we still have this amazing acoustic guitar up for grabs. So send us an
Yes.
instant message right now. Do it right now. Don't procrastinate on it. Do it right now. Say, hey, Flash, Rox, I want the guitar. That's
and I
what you
won't
got to do.
judge you on your spelling or grammar, I promise.
Like the page. All right, so make sure that you do that.
Extra Medium Productions.
We're
Thanks
going
so
through all that.
much.
Thanks to our friends Beasley, the Beasley Media Group. We got Extra Medium Productions and the thousands of people that have to put this show together. My gosh, you wonder how quickly we turn around because
manpower.
Let me tell you something. Bill McArdle is a slave driver. Boom! So we'll get this thing up as quickly as we can so we can turn them around for you. But again, like the page. We got that guitar up for grabs. It's right here. Look at it.
Share the video.
Look at it. Share this too. Share it, man. We need all the love that we can get.
Peace out.
Rox, peace out. We'll see you guys next week right here on Flash and Friends. Bye-bye now.